שלום לכם, אנחנו בשיעור מיוחד קבלה עכשיו שרצינו להקדיש אותו לברר את תפקיד האומה. אנחנו נקרא במהלך השיעור קטעים נבהרים מכתבי בעל הסולם.
Hello, we're in a special lesson today. We wanted to use it to clarify the role of Israel, and we will use excerpts from Baal Sulam's newspaper, The Nation. And as always, you can ask questions through Kabbalah TV. Relevant questions will be asked during the live broadcast. So as we said, our goal is to talk about the role of the nation, and it is towards the big Congress that we're going to have here. So we'll start reading, or you want to say something first? Why are we doing this? Maybe you can say. I'll say in a few months we're going to have a convention here, which is a very important event where people from all over Israel and the world will come here for 3 days of bonding and connection. And using the lesson that we're going to have now, we want to clarify the motto or the direction, the appearance of the central idea that will lead us, that we will all gather around. Yes, this is coming from first the commandment of the Kabbalists that we should make gatherings and try to connect that way. We see it from the writings of Rabash and Baal Sulam, and even from the writings of Ari and Ramchal, even from Rabbi Shimon, and I think from Abraham as well. Everything started from this, because the correction only comes through connection between us, and the connection starts from people coming together, just singing and dancing and talking together and starting to get closer that way, but because they share the same ideal, which is achieving a form of connection that is called creator, that is called bestowal, spirituality. What they discover in the connection between them are forms of connection that are called worlds, and gradually these worlds become, instead of concealments, revelations, and the creator becomes revealed. Instead of covering himself behind what we call worlds, he becomes more and more apparent. What does revelation and concealment means? It means that the quality of bestowal becomes more and more apparent in the connection between us, the quality of love. This is called discovering the Creator, and when that quality is revealed, we start feeling that we live in that form, that we exist in it, and we rise above the sense of this world. And all of that is possible to realize on the condition that we make actions here in this world. We begin here and we extend these actions into the spiritual space, which is revealed in the connection between us. Therefore, we must come together and unite in many possibilities that our world allows us, whether physically or virtually, but we have to do this. Therefore, our question is, if, of course, all our connections must be in order to discover greater connection between us. And of course, this is the reason for which we come together, and around it, there are a few things that can also be clarified. First of all, what is this connection? What for? Who takes part in it? How do we tie this connection to the whole world, to what's happening in the world currently, to our advancement and to everyone's advancement? How do we want it to influence us as a preparation for the big convention that we want to have? Because we already understand how the preparation in all our groups all over the world is what connects us and causes us to work together. How should we divide all these preparations between everyone and prepare everything so that the preparation itself will make us reorganize each time and reconnect on a stronger level each time, and also prepare for the event itself, which is something that will act as a big dissemination act as well, because by preparing for it only, we ourselves are doing it. The people who already belong to our international movement. But that's a preparation. The world doesn't know about it that much, but the event itself is something we do want to advertise anywhere, in all forms of media, and connect as many people as possible to it without any limitation in anything. Each and everyone in the world, from any country, from anywhere, can come and take part if he feels that he's drawn to it. Therefore, the preparation is up to us, those people who are already in our international network, and the event itself is literally for all. And after the event, we should also start worrying about how to realize all the strength of forces that we'll get from the preparation and from the event itself, meeting the new people, meeting the veteran people, how we will realize these things after the event. And that's where the work begins, because all the strength we receive it's like this. We're doing a preparation, and from that preparation we rise to a big peak, a big event. After the preparation and the big event, we get a descent correspondingly, and from that descent we need to rise much higher than where we were here. So we need to turn this descent to an ascent. Therefore, we need to really think from this preparation that we are in. We should, as we are here, we should already think about that time, to take care of the time of preparation itself and the event itself, and also the descent that will come after, and then how to use it correctly and begin the preparation for the next event. And this is just like how our life goes on. It's like the way we breathe. There's an expansion and contraction, according to which we work in every level, everything, just like the heart, like the liver, the everything that lives and breathes works that way. And we're not thinking about some short period of time, a day or two, or just the event itself. We already have to take into account the whole process and how it works. That's it. So, accordingly, you can ask about the entire process, because we need to look at these continuous waves that flow more and more, and as Baal Salam says, it washes the whole world until the whole world kind of joins this big process.
Each time we have these big events, it's a very central event in our lives. It changes everything happening with us afterwards. And we always choose some visual symbol which expresses some manner of this idea, the message, and the thoughts that we had from that same period. We, let's say, once had like a boat or different metaphors. Cogwheels.
Yeah, cogwheels, right.
We always felt it expresses the spiritual direction we want to realize now. Now, you said this event has to be a circulation event. how when we have this event coming up in November with the state of the world, the state of society, do we have from all this background some metaphor which matches us now? Some symbol which symbolizes our wishes and hopes?
Besides unity, I don't see unity, connection, arvut. I don't see anything, because it's not a boat, because a boat is something that feels more like isolating ourselves from the world. It's like Noah's Ark. It sounds like we want to save ourselves and you guys, bye-bye, or something. So of course this isn't the right symbol now, but it's more like the whole of humanity unites around that upper force that it discovers within, and that upper force that we discover in the connection between us gives us a state of balance, tranquility, peace, eternity. We eliminate death that is between us. That's where what we call the angel of death comes to us from. It comes from the hatred between us. Instead of that, we instill the force of holiness, the force of bestowal, that is, and acquires eternal life. Because the hatred between us is the thing that cancels life, and also puts us to death in our bodies as well. It gives us the sense of this world. What is this world? The kind of connection in which we are between us, that form of connection is felt by us as this world. Right? What I feel here as a result of the connections between us is now called this world. And I need to bring myself, let's put it like this, I need to bring myself and everyone else, and this is how each and everyone should feel, that he's responsible for literally everyone, bringing them to a new level of connection, so that instead of this world we'll come to feel a degree called the Asiyah, then Yetzirah, then Bri'ah, then Atzilut, then Ak, and Sof. These are forms of connection between us. There's nothing here that is going to change. We will live inside our bodies just as we are now, only the relation between us will change and bring us a new sense, a new perception of reality, because we change the connection between us. And then we come to the feeling that we are already in the world of Ein Sof. We stop feeling our bodies. They kind of rise. Like our world, like Baruch Olam says, our world will eventually completely rise to the degree of Ein Sof altogether. So you're asking in what way I can visualize it, in some model, in some image. It's all in the connection, in the form of connection between people. So there's no image here besides the connection between us that starts from the darkest thing, from the coarsest thing, to things that are more like kind of airy and blue tones, let's say, and so on and so forth, until we come to pure white. Let's start from this, from black to white, and all a spectrum of colors in between here. Something like that. I don't know exactly. The truth is, it's not black and white. It's, well, an image I don't see, because it's an attitude. relation? How do we express the relation between us? In what by what image? How can we do this? Besides colors, maybe, I don't know. There's no such thing. Imagine humanity, that today they're all with guns and knives towards each other. Everyone wants to be shielded with an armor against the others, having his own fortress as a house, independent of all the others, not connected to all the others. And then the opposite is that everything is open, no boundaries, no bounds. Everyone feels the others as their babies or friends or as one body. One begins to feel that without the others he loses his self. That's what we're gradually now beginning to learn from nature, that we're interdependent, interconnected, and in the meantime we see it because we have no choice. Later we'll discover that it's not because we have no choice, that it's actually good, better to be connected with the other, because by relating to him correctly, I come to a degree that is above this world. There's a part of the path here that I go through as I want to save myself from crises, from blows, and therefore I want to be connected to the others in a safe and secure way. I want to be secure, safe in all aspects, whether it's food, health, family, general confidence, and whatever. And then later I see, no, the connection with the others is good because it actually gives me the attainment of eternity and perfection. And I'm actually aware of it and am grateful for that thing, for that connection with others, because by that I'm able to express myself and change myself, change my perception of reality, and enter a different dimension, a spiritual, eternal dimension. This is what the connection with the others allows me. And if problems appear in the forms of connection with the others, these are revelations helping me to correct and change myself.
You said that the only thing that you get in your sensation is like a spectrum of colors that actually need to express relations that go forward and improve between humans, yes?
Yes, that's what I feel.
Okay, these colors now, this spectrum, what form is most correct to arrange it so that it would express relations?
From the most threatening to the neutral, and then no form, no kind of it's a relation. There's no limitation. When you put it into an image, there's a limitation here. I don't know. Yes, please.
Maybe what you just said about the connection, it must be to break the klipot, the shells, or the barriers, the walls. Yes, breaking the barrier.
There are a few, as if, approaches here. Maybe we need to relate to the evil forces between us, but when you're thinking about the bad and you're contemplating it, you're engaging in it, and you're working in the dirt, so to speak. And perhaps there should be a different approach, to just rise above it, not to talk about it, not to be immersed in that. You know, it's like a Seil Azazel, the scapegoat is someone you just need to send away. Give the klipa what it needs, and so on. These things are fine, but I don't want to contemplate them and be immersed in them. I want to be above them. It's like what we do in general in our dissemination, in our relation to others. We don't judge others. We're not discussing all kinds of enemies or so on. We don't want to be immersed in that. We want to be above it. Like Balash Salam and Rabash writes. They don't want to talk about the enemies that much because it just makes things corrupted. It doesn't help. It doesn't work. And it's better to take care of our ascent, and then they'll die without being nourished by us. Because when you deal with them, you're nourishing them. They're happy that you're dealing with them. So we don't want to discuss the evil between us, the evil force, the evil inclination and resistances and problems, unless there's no choice or we have to touch upon it a little. But mostly we should talk about the ascent, the upliftment, and the connection. That should be the direction. Inclined upwards.
From Haifa in Israel, they're asking the connection that's like in a symbolizes like a chain between people. That's their idea. From Los Angeles, they're saying maybe the horn could be like a symbol, the horn of the Messiah. Mexico is saying maybe the image of like a lamp, a menorah.
Well, I don't know. We need to think about it. I'm not a real expert in this, in how to brand things like that and all those things. But we need to think, and we also expect our viewers to think about it too. I also think that we need to put all this material online for people to watch. And there we can really provide all the preparation and everything for people to join this, send their ideas and so on. We will also want people to put together video clips or address us in different way. Meaning, so we should already open a web page for the next convention, so that people will respond and send their comments and share with everyone. Yes.
About what you just said, maybe our symbol should be like a circle. Like everything's in the circle, and our relations are in the circle. Everything's dependent on one another.
Okay, we'll think about it. Okay. Let's see what's next. Yes, Malik.
I have a question regarding new people. We know that there will be many, many new people. In what form are they tied to this idea? How will they be impressed? This appears to me as the new thing.
We now need to write a few simple articles, and really we have to write them anew each time. It doesn't matter that we have them from before, because today our language is different. And these people are new, and we need to put together a few articles about the idea itself, why the world is the way it is, where does it bring us towards connection, towards correction. The world is such that it shows us the disconnection, and the crisis in the world is global and integral. It's not a crisis, it's actually the revelation, the appearance of the fact of disconnection between us, and that this disconnection creates imbalance with nature. And the more we move forward and escalating that, the imbalance increase, and accordingly our suffering. And correspondingly, we have only one solution: to create a good connection between us, because we, in the whole of nature, still vegetative, animate, and speaking, we are the only level that is imbalanced, that is breaching the whole system of reality which is in balance and is corrected. And without us, it will simply be Ein Sof. That's it. What is the meaning of the descent from Ein Sof to our world? It's the increasing ego that takes us down, and all the still vegetative and animate as well. That's it. It's a simple thing. We are in Ein Sof and then we descend. And why? By what? By the discovery of our ego. These 5 worlds is the revelation of our egoism. That's it. Here is 0% appearance of our ego, and here it's 100%. But it's hidden, and as we rise, we actually correct it. Until we come to 100% egoism that is revealed to the extent we can correct it. This is called the rungs of the ladder. So we have no choice. The world is round, everything is global, everything is harmonious besides us. And we were given an opportunity called a kav, meaning in a gradual way we can correct the whole of reality and bring it back to Ein Sof, to an absolute, complete connection between everything, everyone. So all the problems, the crises that appear are manifestations of what we call the evil within us, because we see reality according to our flaws. We see this world the way it is because it's our defect, it's our flaws. If we correct our flaws, we'll feel infinity. And how will we correct it? Only in the connection between us, because that's where the shattering took place. We don't need to think about how to correct the planets or whatever. We understand from the wisdom of Kabbalah, and today we understand from our life as well, that the correction is only between human beings. And to the extent we correct it and create a better and better connection between us, we rise in the rungs of the ladder from here to Ein Sof. And instead of this world, suddenly we'll discover the world of Asiyah, Briah, Yetzirah, and so on. Until that connection will be revealed to the point of Ein Sof, infinity. What does it mean? It means that the Creator, the quality of bestowal, becomes more and more revealed in us until it completely governs us, and this is called the final correction, the Ein Sof that is between us. So in that simple way, still this is very hard, it's very far from the beginner, but to try, just like you try to explain to a baby, in many ways, using examples like the body, showing how it gets sick when it comes out of balance, and we exist in the same way, like one collective body, and so on and so forth. Even explain about the sickness itself, that the sickness appears in economy, in children education, in our health, family unit, the drug abuse rates, and so on. All the problems of the world, we can explain them as well. Ecology. The biggest problem we have today is the natural disasters. So we have is ecology. So we have to put together a few articles that talk about the problems and the solution, how we do it, and why the convention helps it, the connection between us. Because it's like you're bringing an infusion to a sick body that motivates it to heal and then come to the next transfusion and heal itself, like we usually call it, like fueling ourselves. So it's the same thing, taking the remedy. We need to write about it, visualize it, create video clips and so on, and eventually put all of this on one web page and use it to circulate it in many places. And this we can do with our friends. We want everyone to be connected to this, so let these millions that come in and out to at least spread and disseminate this material in all the web. So, for each and every action, we should have someone in charge. Ilan, you're listening? And that's it. We'll succeed. Yes.
I wanted to ask about this mechanism called arvut. When we have a small group that wants to attain some goal and disconnect itself from the rest of humanity, they build some responsibility with an obligation that helps it advance on its own. Now we're building this huge event which ties everyone from around the world, veterans, newcomers. How can this ideal of arvut be open to everyone as a means to truly ascend?
How can it exist without boundaries? To what extent? Because we are today. Look, if you would ask me 10 years ago, I wouldn't do it so. Even the boat we were talking about, when was it? 2008? That was when I wore my captain hat. 2008. That's it. No. Really? I thought it was so long ago. Look how quickly things changed. Back then, we couldn't talk about the whole world being in there. We spoke about the global crisis and so on, but it wasn't so prominent, so pronounced. And in 2 years, things happened like that. Well, I don't know. I don't feel time that well. So what I want to tell you is that we spoke then about a connection between us in a group that is more like closed and not coming outside with it, where no one understands what's arvut and so on. Today you can talk about it more, a little more. The more we talk about it, the people will understand more, and the next blow will give them more awareness, and then we precede the blow with the remedy. So it has to be open because the world, reality necessitates it. It's not that we feel like being more open today. You see, we are now speaking before the whole world. We want everyone to relate to this and unite around this, even if they don't come to the convention, even if they're very far away. If in some way a person already touches upon this, he already belongs to this general awakening, to this infusion. So I think that today we can't shut ourselves, and we were also obligated to open ourselves up to everyone, and there's no choice. This external reality necessitates us. Yes?
A person, let's say, who knows he's going to receive a blow, he builds himself a shelter, he collects some money, different, insurance.
And suddenly dies.
Yeah, he gets hit in the street.
Before all that happens.
Well, in preparing himself for the blow, to guard himself, how can we bring him to a state to understand that he has to connect?
This is the whole system of our explanation. First of all, we went through our whole human history from past thousands of years and generations. And if we look at our history, we see that really all the things we went through didn't help us. And today we're facing such blows that not the Americans or the Russians or no one know what will happen. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. No one knows if the sun will explode or something from the core of the earth or whatever. Nothing can help you. Today it becomes obvious that all the systems we have, as many as you build, none will help you. It's like everyone is raising their hands saying, I don't know what to do. And it's the world leaders and it's everyone. So if you show in a scientific, rational, reasonable way, if you show and clarify the entire system, if you show them the only solution, which is in order to bring our system to balance, which is the cause and the solution, so I think that eventually they'll accept it. The problem is that just this inertia of thought that is still kind of until people hear and listen and so on. But you see, even from 2008 to today, there were so many changes. So I think it'll be fast. Besides that, by our actions, we accelerate times greatly. A lot. Otherwise, there wouldn't be so rapid changes. So fast. Yes.
I'm a newcomer, let's say. I like this whole spectrum of colors you just drew. Identify with it. And let's say this is something that I want to get familiar with. I want to get to know these people. What do I have to do to see this thing, to feel it?
I think that we need to organize. Well, this is something that will happen naturally, but we need to organize in our TV and in the internet, in all the languages, of course, talks about it, discussions, video clips, and shows around the topic of the next convention. We'll be talking about it and studying it here from all the authentic sources of Kabbalah. And that's how a person connects to this. How else? Besides that, in Israel and in the world, we recommend doing prior events, preparatory events. Like we're having in a week from now in Be'er Sheva, then we'll have one in Eilat. In next Sunday, it'll be in Eilat. When in Be'er Sheva? Next Wednesday. You understand? So later we'll probably do one in the north, in Jerusalem as well. So we recommend all our groups to do that, to organize it in their center or even going to some close location. So meaning to make preparations for this and allow people who are hearing to come to each and every group. By the way, we have a list of all the groups in the world who have the technical ability to be in video conference with us, and so on.
I have a different question here. What is this vessel that I need to have in order to see the spectrum of all the colors?
The relation, the connection between people that you design. You design it, no one else. One judges according to his own flaws. There's a problem here. Look, on the one hand, we're saying that there is humanity, all of which must come to Ein Sof. All of it. On the other hand, we're saying, meaning that all of us together, the more we connect, the more we expand and encircle ourselves, then we come to, I don't know, I'm trying to sketch these things because maybe we'll come to some image that you asked before, some symbol. I don't know, we'll see. So this is the growing ego that we nevertheless connect and unite, and that's how we rise to the level of Ein Sof. On the other hand, there's a personal connection here for all of us. So that is if we're talking about humanity. But if I'm talking about myself, then I am talking about me towards all the others. And in the meantime, I feel myself outside all the others. So I have to feel that all the others outside of me is like Ein Sof. That is whole. And the flaw is here. And I judge according to my flaws. That's why I see all the others as this world, or Asiya, יצירה, בריאה, אצילות, אק, or אין סוף. So the others outside of me are אין סוף. What I'm seeing is my replication. They're like my mirror. You understand this. It's something the Baal Shem Tov spoke a lot about. If so, we need to explain it in a few ways, this way and that way. On the one hand, we're all flawed, and we need to make a good connection between us. So we're talking about our root, unity, and so on. That's one type of work, this group work. And here, there's individual work, which is me towards all the others. And these two forms have a place. There's a room for this and that. So, if I'm talking about myself, I always need to look at the others and think of what can I do towards the others in order to see them in a way that is eternal, whole, perfect. Arvut, everything is there. On one hand. On the other hand, I work with them in a general way.
Let's say we prepared some simple articles, clips, different material that we explain the urgency for this connection. And let's say I'm a newcomer, I've just got influenced by this, it touched my heart, and let's say I came to your event, right? Now, what do I have to do in order to realize all these high exalted ideas you just told me about, actively, practically, when I'm with the audience?
This will be clear to you as a result of the preparation.
What will be clear?
You will read.
But I read everything. I mean,
do nothing. You don't need to do anything. Just come with a preparation. If you come prepared, you become integrated with a collective feeling. There's nothing there. You know, it's like you go to vacation. You worked a lot before. You collected money. You prepared yourself, and you said, "This is it. These days I'm like in heaven. I'm in the next world. I'm on vacation, listening to nice music, not doing anything. That's it." That's the way you can come to the convention. Because the preparation is a preparation. This is why we call it preparation. There's nothing besides the preparation. Everything else will be a result. The convention will flow according to the preparation of the people who came to it all around the world. Because there would be, say, 6,000 or 7,000 people who will come physically, and all the rest will connect virtually.
But, let's say if I go on vacation, the format is clear to me. I know I'm going, I'm not doing too much.
So we should show our previous conventions.
Well, but how can you prepare me for this shock of coming there, because the format there is not so clear to me. In the best case, let's say I see you on the internet, you're giving lessons, and I'm impressed of that, or I see you on TV. So I understand this whole matter of sitting and listening to a lesson of speaking about these ideas. But besides this, being in a whole big mass of people doing other things like singing together, dancing together, eating, and all sorts of things which are not studying and talking about these ideas, these are things which are entirely new to me. I've never experienced them, and it's not so much of a vacation but more of a small shock. What should my attitude be towards this? What is this thing in short, and what does it add to these ideas that I read about in the articles?
We are emotional beings, and it is written in many books that we need to change our emotion, our attitude to others. The mind is a good thing if it's going to serve the emotion. The mind in itself, by itself, does not exist. If we artificially, say, detach it from our emotions, we will find ourselves in troubles. we will create a bad future for ourselves, because a mind that is detached from emotion is like form without matter, and it could bring us to decisions that are horrible. Baal Sulam explains that in the introduction to the book of Zohar as well. Therefore, the states in which I can disconnect my mind, besides, say, hearing a lecture, participating in discussions, getting to know people, talking to them, and so on, there are also such actions where I don't go with my sense of criticism at all. I simply become included with the others. How can I? Precisely by jumping up and down, dancing and singing with them, being like a baby, like a child, nullifying myself, and losing my sense of criticism. By that, I join the collective state. And we don't realize it, but I actually, by that, find the opportunity to be unlimited. And there is a certain atmosphere or spirit that penetrates me, permeates me. And you can say, oh, okay, it's just a sense of frivolity. But you don't identify it, because it's actually the light of Ein Sof, and you can't detect and discern it with your vessels. So you think it's just something called nefesh, the degree called nefesh. It depends on your vessels to discover it as Naran Chai. But if it comes from the connection, even the smallest degree, it's already perfection. You understand? So you have precisely this opportunity, specifically this way, to grasp something that belongs to spirituality. When you jump together with everyone. Where do our dances come from, by the way? They come to us from the Kabbalists. Baal Shem Tov, Rabash would force us to dance for 6 or 7 hours. You saw some of the films we have, right? Senka has them. He doesn't let anyone see them. I'm telling you, really. If this is Purim, for instance, it's something horrible. We would come at 4 p.m. and finish at 2 a.m. You're drinking and jumping and dancing. That's it. Yeah? Really? No, but you have your thought in all of this. You have a lot of effort to do. It's not like you're just floating and that's it. Like it or not, you start having a real frequent thoughts against and in favor, and the whole Talmud Sfirot there. Something but you keep jumping. You think, perhaps you think it's some sort of a mantra or something. But no, it's something very calculated and very conscious. It's not like meditations or something where you escape or detach. You're not disconnecting. You're always facing your issues, your dilemmas. Why am I doing this? What for? Who forces me to do it? What is the cause? What is it that connects us? What's the connection between us? You are reviewing all your work, your inner work, from the beginning to the end as you're dancing, because that dance forces you to think against it, against the connection. You don't want it. Your mind is always struggling against it. So then you must make scrutinies. So that dancing becomes a really exhausting work. You come out of it exhausted, not just because you jumped a lot, but because you went through many discernments.
But dancing, singing, these are external things.
I am talking about inner work. I'm talking about inner work in that dancing. The real dance is happening inside, those ups and downs that are happening inside of you. The external dance is only to awaken those inner states. You understand? Externally, you go up and down, you jump up and down, and so on. Externally. And internally, you also have fluctuations, ups and downs that could be completely different, in different directions. The important thing is this. Without the externality, you can't. You can't do it. This is the externality, but this is the interior. And you can't have one without the other. You can't. So that dancing becomes a very, very unique device. Means, why did the Baal Shem Tov and all the first genuine chassids who were Kabbalists penetrated this to the nation, to the people? And we'll talk about it at a later opportunity at some point, what it really is. It's like a song is a very unique thing, a melody and so on, but you make an external connection, you have no choice, and that external connection forces you to examine whether you are willing to connect with them internally. You have no more effective means, because you're against it. It's precisely when you study Kabbalah, you feel the evil inclination against it really strongly. With this we will conclude, and let's hope that with these talks we'll come to something.
A few announcements. We're all ascending to the next degree in the south on the 18th of August on Wednesday, yes? 6:30 p.m. we're all meeting in the south and ascending to the next degree of connection and unity. Rav Leitman will give a lecture, we'll have connection between all the groups around Israel and, of course, the world with us on the internet. So once again, the 18th of August at 6:30 p.m. Israel time. For more details, you can find on Kabbalah.info, Kab.coil, or you can call 1-700-509-209 for tickets. A meeting with Rav Leitman in Eilat will be Sunday, the 15th of August at 7:30 p.m. in Beit Kabbalah in Eilat itself, physically. We recommend you all connect, listen to Rav Leitman's lecture, the questions and answers. It's free. Entrance is free. We have a live broadcast in every single Friday, beginning at 3 o'clock with the weekly article Zohar lesson, and at 4:15 with the Sitting of Friends lesson, Sitting of Friends occasion. This turns our Fridays into a day of unity and connection. Let's end here for today. Have a great day.
הנשמות באות רק ממקום אחד. כל הנשמות בעצם נשמה אחת. כל האנשים היום כל כך מבולבלים, מפחדים ובגדול הם מרגישים תקועים. זהו כפר גלובלי, הקשר וירטואלי. כולם צריכים להתחבר, כולם צריכים להתאחד, זה רק שינוי מנטלי, גם אם ממש לא בא לי, אם טוב לי או רע לי, אם לא נפתח את הלב, נגלה רק כאב, אז בוא תהיה ריאלי. שכח מאחור את הזמן, איש לא יכול לעצור. מספיק לחשוב על איך אפשר כל יום רק לגנוב, כי עכשיו הזמן שלנו לאור. זהו כפר גלובלי, הקשר וירטואלי, כולם צריכים להתחבר, כולם צריכים להתאחד, זה רק שינוי מנטלי, גם אם ממש לא בא לי, אם טוב לי או רע לי, אם לא נפתח את הלב, נגלה רק כאב, אז בוא תהיה ריאלי, זהו כבר גלובלי, הקשר וירטואלי, כולם צריכים להתחבר, כולם צריכים להתאחד, זה רק שינוי מנטלי, גם אם ממש לא בא לי, אם טוב לי או רע